New Orleans, one of America's most mysterious and haunted cities, known for its ancient mansions, voodoo legends, and ghost stories. For centuries, one tale has silently haunted the city's old alleys, a dark legend never fully uncovered, whose shadows still drift in the wind. The year was 2019. Four Indian graduate students, Arav, Shurya, Tanya, and Simi, were studying at a university in New Orleans. They studied under a teacher known as Ra. When Thanksgiving break arrived, most students left for vacations, but these four chose to stay back. Tanya had heard of an abandoned mansion on the outskirts of town, Blackwell Manor. It once belonged to a voodoo priestess named Marilou Blackwell, who mysteriously vanished decades ago. Rumors claimed her spirit still lingered in the house. At first, they all laughed it off, but Shurya was thrilled by the idea of exploring it. "Let's spend a night there," he said. "Let's see what's real and what's just stories." The others hesitated, but friendship and curiosity won. That night, the four friends arrived at Blackwell Manor. The house stood at the edge of the city, draped in moss and darkness. Cracked windows, rotting doors, and a deep silence, only broken by the sound of their own breath. As they stepped inside, a wave of unnatural cold swept over them, as if something invisible was welcoming them in. Inside, time seemed frozen. The rooms were filled with dust-covered furniture, voodoo dolls, and strange symbols scribbled across the walls in an unknown script. One room had a heavy wooden door with a carved warning, "Do not disturb the awakened spirit. Those who enter may never leave." But they were young and fearless. They opened the door. The room was circular with a black stone altar in the center. Dried bloodstains marked the altar's surface, and the surrounding floor was scattered with ancient candles, somehow still faintly glowing, though no one had lit them. Simi reached out to touch one of the candles. A sudden jolt shot through her hand, and in that instant, the room lit up with a ghostly glow. Shadows began to dance on the walls. The mansion itself seemed to inhale and exhale. Tanya screamed, "Someone's there!" A shadow moved across the room, slowly approaching them. The door slammed shut behind them. Their phones died at the same time. Complete darkness. Then from the shadows emerged a figure. An old woman with a chilling smile and eyes like bottomless wells of night. It was her, Marilou Blackwell. She didn't speak, she only looked. And in response, 4 ritual daggers rose from the altar, floating midair. Blood-red symbols appeared on the walls. Then, she pointed a bony finger at Simi. Simi screamed and collapsed. The others tried to run, but every door now led to another wall. The house had changed. It wasn't just a building anymore. It was a living labyrinth, alive and angry. Sharia banged on walls. Arav shouted Simi's name. Tani cried out loud, praying. Hours passed. Night deepened. Arav began to see blood on his own hands, his past guilt rising like ghosts. Sharia's shadow began to whisper to him, "You are ours now." Tanya heard Simi crying in her ears, though she was unconscious. Finally, near dawn, the main door opened on its own. Tanya picked up Simi and they ran out. The cold wind of early morning felt normal, but something inside them had changed. Back at their dorm, Simi remained in a trance, staring at the wall. Unblinking, doctors said she had suffered a psychological breakdown, but the others knew this wasn't just trauma, this was possession. They tried to move on. Ara relocated to New York, but one night he saw Simi standing outside his apartment window. She wasn't supposed to be there. Sharia began dreaming of the altar. Every night, the same eyes watching him, waiting. Tanya, the strongest among them, died by suicide 3 months later. In her diary, she had written, "The house didn't let us go. We belong to it now." Blackwell Manor went back on the market. Realtors tried selling it again, but every new owner vanished within a week. The FBI investigated, but found only one thing: a black voodoo doll lying at the center of the altar room, its eyes moist. Underneath it was carved, "Whoever enters shall live within, forever." To this day, locals claim that on cold, quiet nights, when fog hangs over New Orleans like a veil, the cries of Simi, the footsteps of Arav, and the laughter of Marilou can still be heard echoing down the alley near Blackwell Manor. And if you walk too close, you may hear a soft whisper carried on the wind. "Come, you are welcome, but you will never leave again."
At the last, if you not yet subscribe our channel, then please subscribe it now. It will give motivation to us. Push bell button for next coming as such horror stories. Thank you for watching our video.